Yo, man, in this time in my life, man, I'm watching how everything unfolds. You know, the basics of everything. I'm trying to take everything back to its basics because most of us are not at a level where we can even understand the degrees of falling that we have taken. The genesis of man is far beyond what we think it is in Genesis, in the Bible. A lot of us think that the world started with one man and one woman. Most of the world believes that. Regardless of what religion you subscribe to, you have your creation story that is probably 10,000 years old. Even those that say that it isn't. The basics is we don't know where man comes from outside of our theologies that we all subscribe to, from here to China. And we're trying to figure that out again. So we're trying to figure out what man is, where man came from, how is he different, or why is he different than the animals that he's surrounded by. We're trying to figure out what the sun and the moon consist of. Who made that? Why are they there? Why do we need the difference between day and night? Why do we have time? Why is there plants and insects and fish in the sea and planets and stars and black holes? What does this all really and truly mean? This is what we all wonder. Even when we in our wallow of depression, we all wondered this. So we listen to those that say that they have education or knowledge based off of archaeological evidence. But none of that is actually fact. Some of us look at the past as it's something that could not have happened. I'll give you an example, right? In the Bible, it tells you that there was angels that had lightning coming out of their hands. In the Bible, it talks about angels coming to the earth. Even the Bhagavad Gita in the Hindu religions talk about gods in Vimanas, flying ships. We have, even in that culture, we have gods or angels that have superhuman power. Even in other mythologies, we have that. Now we're at the point where we're trying to figure out, well, were we once them? Or was it something we made up so that we can sleep at night? This is what most people's question is. Well, how does these mythologies affect my life and who I am and what I know and how I'm supposed to act? This is what we're asking ourselves. While we're asking ourselves that, we're getting things that contradict mankind in itself, in our perception of it. What I'm saying by perception, I mean our understanding of it, our belief of it. So what we're getting is God created us, and we just came here, and then there were superior beings, and it was just us, and we was always at awe of them. This is what we think. This is how we think. And most of us don't even know that we think that stuff. So now we get to a time where we have scientists and historians telling us, well, the Bible is a lie. Then you have pastors and religious leaders telling us that this may be, the sciences and the history may be a lie. So we're always at combat with ourselves, trying to figure out, well, what does this all mean? I feel like I could tell you pieces of what it all means. But there's so many of us that understand the deep secrets of God and are able to apply it to our true lives. God created man. Who is God? The universe. The universe. He is, and he's without it. That's what makes us gods. Not because we were or born gods or born royal or some fantasy thing that, you know, you can't hold on to. Well, think about this. If they say the universe, which has billions of galaxies, and then it creates life through these clouds, right? And then on that planet breeds life, right? This is what they're telling you, that the universe was made. And when it was being made, planets, stars, black holes, whatever you want to call all of this, galaxies, right, came together to make conscious beings of itself. See, what a spiritual person does is give the universe its life that it truly deserves. Because something that came out of nothing, as you would think, has to be pure in any kind of sense. It has to be pure. So if you are part of something that created itself out of nothing, when I say something that created itself out of nothing, is talking about the universe, just life itself, the manifestation of a human being and animals, plants. This is God. That is God. So when you look at yourself and you see yourself as nothing, as debased, or just what this is, flesh, you destroy who you are mentally. So we're always combating what we see in mirrors, TVs, in life, newspapers, computers, phones. We're fighting what we see instead of what is around us. How this all just came to be. We get levels of understanding of this through the spiritual books because they were always trying to figure it out. But what you're doing is you're watching the dissension of God. A dissension. You go further back, you see they were gods. They were flying ships. But what they do? They started fighting. They was warring. That's when you go really far back. Then you get closer. Then you see, okay, well, those people that were fighting got punished because they didn't understand what they were doing. Even though they were gods, they still had no understanding of what they were doing. That's why they were destroying themselves. And we have records of it. And now we have records of it again. The days shall be the days of Noah. Nobody's telling you what. They're just telling you, oh, there was faggots and there was, eating of flesh. And there was all this manner of craziness in Noah's time. Sin, sex, all this type of things. But they don't tell you about the warring factions. That there was wars at that time. They don't tell you that. But how do you comprehend that there was wars as well? I just told you. I just told you. But you don't take it serious enough to believe that if you wouldn't lie about what you have seen to somebody, as far as I seen a guy get shot by the cops on the street. I seen a car crash. You have to be insane to lie about things like that. Or I seen 2 towers fall. I seen people bomb cities and destroy them. You wouldn't lie about that. So you read these spiritual books that was written by other people that was divinely inspired by God to write this stuff so that you can have the information and learn from it. But we don't take it that serious. We don't take any of it seriously. That's the problem. God's been telling you, you are God. And he talks to you, or she talks to you, as you're supposed to be talked to. See, you feel that you can't perceive things based off of what's been told to you, that we're just carbon-based beings. But you can think. You can think. What is the difference between you thinking and an animal thinking? You think animals think? We're at a point where we don't see the future. We don't see that we build things, we're able to create and anything and destroy it. Animals don't create their own dwelling. Lions don't create their own dwelling. Bears don't. They live in caves. You're able to do this. Then they'll give you limited examples of animals that do build things like beavers. And think that that's an argument. Like that's based off of what you're even really saying. They're picking and choosing what they want to argue about. It's on you that's a spiritual person not to fall and be debased towards that. Because you're higher than frivolous arguments or frivolous understanding of what truly life is. Our battle is beyond you being Christ or Christ being Christ or if Christ was even real. It's beyond that at this time. We don't take that seriously. A lot of us don't take life seriously. Because in their mind, they're like, I live and then I die. But what if I told you that's not the case? That's not the case. You was trained to think that you're doing things that you possibly aren't doing. That you possibly aren't doing. But we don't take it seriously. We take it as it's all fabricated jokes. Even in certain communities, we're looking towards the leader to tell us what this is all about. Why is everything being destroyed, but God's not coming? Why is Third World War coming and God's not here yet to take the chosen? That's you living in the future, right? You see the future. The future affects the present because you see it. You see destruction, but you don't know how to stop it. Why? Because you don't care about life. You don't care about life. The reason you don't know how to stop it is because you don't care about life. Now it's time for you to wake up and care about your life. And understand that the stories that have been told to us were just stories. But the truth of those stories is life itself. It's life itself. So, in this time, 2017, you're going to look at the past. You're going to judge the past accordingly. You're not going to dismiss just because one tells you to dismiss. You're not going to reject because someone else rejects. It's crazy. Christ only said 2 laws. 2. Have no other God before your God. And to treat your neighbor as you treat yourself. This is profound things to life itself. These are profound things for life itself. But until you are ready to receive what God is truly, or the Most High is truly trying to give you, you have to take down the walls of belief. Belief comes from understanding. If you understand something, then you believe it. That's how it really works. We don't understand the developments. Look, I'm telling you right now, my belief that God created all of this. We are part of God, which created all of this, which God is all of this. That is my belief through understanding, from knowledge, which gives me the wisdom to be able to relay it to you. This is how it works. But they don't tell you the development of it to get to the point where you're able to comprehend it and then relay it to those that need it. This is proving to God that you have understanding. This funny. People don't take the time to pay attention to life. We're busy running the rat race, working to eat. All because the scripture says a man that doesn't work don't eat. Working has nothing to do with trying to work for somebody else. That's the misconception that we have of it. It doesn't mean working for somebody else so that they can put money in your pocket to put food on your table. You're working to eat. Every single person on this planet in the United States colonies are working to eat. You're not working to, basically you're working to survive. And you're teaching your children to do the same. These are the basics of life. We missing out, man, on what truly life could be. Because we're putting money and resources into other people. We're giving our lives to other people. We're giving our lives to other people while we're debasing ours. We're debasing our life when we give life. We give life, but we're debasing ourselves through understanding. This is the truth of the matter. This is the truth of the matter. Why is it hard to see? Because you don't want to. So you know what, man? I appreciate you guys listening. I wish you guys all the best and the knowledge, and that everything would increase in your understanding of what life is. Today is going to be a new day. So relish in it. Understanding has increased. Now it's time for you to see it for what it is. Grab hold of to those that are understanding of what it is, so that you can be free. So that you can be free. I'm Furious Black. And thank you for watching, man.